Our topic today is hacking automation. What can we comfortably expect from automation, and what should we look to next?
Automation is horrible at doing outlier type things that are one-offs. And what we should be looking for is more going past recognition to precognition.
When you get into an outlier situation, automation fails because, automation needs to be trained. There's such a movement and a diversity of those types of activities. It's pretty tough for automation to instantly detect that type of thing. Yeah, I think everything is AI now. Marketing people have destroyed the reality. If you go to one of those Amazon stores, it just knows what you've taken off the shelf. But that isn't intelligence, that's just recognition. If we're in the business of fixing vulnerabilities and trying to protect businesses, we need context. Automation is about augmentation of human capability in terms of scale, volume, doing things which humans have traditionally done, which are the boring parts of their job. And then humans can do the interesting things.
But I think David's question was, do you see hopefulness around precognition? Have you seen, that actually produced an output that we probably wouldn't have gotten to in any other way?
One of the things that I've seen machine learning do is pick out something that I would have never looked at. This system right here is beaconing to this location. I would have never looked at somebody communicating with China over port 23 once a day. But by using machine learning, it said, this system has been communicating with that host for the last 3 weeks once a day.
We got a question from Eli Migdal, who's the CEO over at Boardish. Automation requires a lot of resources to validate its efficiency, to check if it's essentially working or not.
Yeah.
How do you measure the ROI of should I automate or not?
I look at how much I'm paying that person to do that particular job, and they do this job and they do it well because we only have 100 logs a day. Let's change that number from 100 logs to 1 million logs a day, and they can't complete that task. But I can go out and find a product that could automate that for $25,000 a year. That's how I evaluate when to automate it.
The idea is to automate everything as long as it doesn't affect accuracy. That's our mantra. If we automate tons of stuff and all of a sudden our false positive rate starts to creep up, or a false negative rate, or we're not giving what our clients expect, well, therefore we're doing it wrong.
Which security process is mature enough or has enough data to be automated today, but we're still doing it manually?
When attacks happen, they become dynamic. So it's all about dwell time and response time. You can automate your firewall changes or automate your endpoint controls based on whether they're under attack or not under attack.
What sorts of processes will you absolutely not automate?
I won't fully automate risk rating of vulnerabilities. It's contextual, and the same vulnerability across 10 systems could pose a completely different risk to the business.
We're now playing the Department of Yes, everybody, and we have got some really, really good bad ideas. Automate the CISO. Every response to every question is generated by repurposing the content from a vendor pitch email. Why is that a good idea?
I know that the vendors will not say anything that will be bad or negative. And sometimes FUD is good for security. It can help increase my budget. So by using a vendor's own words may help my security budget in the end.
Hire a retired weather person to forecast what the next attack on your organization will be, when to expect it, and what percentage confidence. Build your automation to address those forecasted threats.
I think it's a great idea, but I think the retired weather person would have to be based in Ireland because it's always raining.
Set it and forget it. Make sure you fire all humans. You won't need them anymore. Why is that a good idea?
No personality will be involved. So all the decisions will be made on numbers and statistics. And obviously the statistics can't be wrong because I've automated the process myself.
How much time will the care and feeding of the automation cost in human effort?
The automation isn't going to, I think, save in headcount. What it can do is make things maybe a bit more consistent and a bit quicker. But ultimately, I think the maintenance cost is underestimated when we get into nurturing and mining automated systems.
Here's a question from Sean Bowen, who is the CISO over at Restaurant Brands International. And he asks, what do you consider the difference between automation And orchestration, this is a good one, or is that just a sales word?
To me, automation is when you have something that's done on a consistent basis, consistently all the time.
Mhm.
To me, orchestration is when you chain together automated actions.
I'm throwing another bad idea at you. Automate your cybersecurity budget. Why is that a good idea?
I would automate my security budget based on the number of attacks that we're getting per annually. And we would use that number in the various levels of attacks. And we would automatically say, if we are getting 30% more spam, we would increase our spam security budget 30%.
This question comes from Dutch. Is there value to use machine learning to suggest approaches to the pen tester so they don't always rely on the same ones?
Yes, because generally, and this is the good and bad things about a pen tester, nobody knows their true blind spots. Mm-hmm. But if you have a machine that is scanning everything and says, oh, you may not have realized that, but there's a little dot right there that a pen tester would have never traditionally thought to look. An automated tool showed them a new vector.
We use automation to find technical vulnerabilities, and then we use humans to find the complex, more deep, sexy stuff that is, it's interesting to do.
I can't get over how awesome, and also the people just keep coming back week after week after week. I can't thank you enough. You guys are awesome.